Hello and welcome to the second installment of 100 What Ifs. This video needs a bit more of an introduction and explanation, so feel free to click anything that pops up here now to skip all of this talking and go straight to the audio tracks. The idea of this video is a question that explores your own creations if you happen to be a music producer or a vocalist or a singer-songwriter or anything that involves vocal duties. When creating your vocal parts, aside from the usual rhythm and melody of your vocals, you also need to consider what I refer to as the choice of voice, which refers to what kind of texture you're going to give your own vocals to fit with a particular part of a piece of music. So that includes the texture of the music, the timbre, the sonic qualities of it, and where every part of the instrument sits within the frequency spectrum of the recording. It's probably the reason why Barry White would probably definitely not sit in a mix with Castle Decapitation. Different genres, different styles, that's a given. But narrowing the spectrum a little bit, certain heavy vocalists still wouldn't fit in with certain heavy bands. So this requires a careful and meticulous approach to who you choose as your vocalist if you're a band and not a vocalist yourself, and if you are a vocalist, what voices you need to fit within the texture of the music. So when I create my own music, I'm going to be applying the same careful and meticulous approach to making sure that whatever voices I decide to apply to my music, they all fit in within the mix. In this example today, I have recorded a portion of my own song. This is a fresh recording just to demo in this video in particular. I will be re-recording it down the line, but it's an original song of mine called Toe of Defeat, and it is a progressive metalcore song, if you want to put it into a genre. And when it comes to progressive metalcore, one thing that you want to consider is that a lot of voices tend to fit in with the context of this music. So because it's progressive, you don't need to pigeonhole yourself into a specific genre. So you don't need to have core vocals, technically, if you don't want to. You don't have to have any kind of singing if you don't want to. You don't have to have any kind of screaming at all. So basically, when it comes to progressive music, there's no holds barred. You can do what you want. And that is a great opportunity for me to do videos like this, where I can experiment with different voices and see what fits. So here is the chorus of my song with 12 different voices. The lyrics go like this. Because to think is to deny the face and hold up the mask. And if you didn't wear it so thin, I wouldn't be so fast. So when it comes to doing this in lots of different voices, I want to try and think about how each voice brings different color to the mix and also translates whatever emotions are going on within the song. So the 12 different voices are: 1, a clean vocal, which is going to be in the higher baritone, lower tenor sort of range. It's going to be a mixed voice, and it's going to have some harmonies and some vibrato just added in for some texture. The second clip will be the exact same vocal take, but completely auto-tuned. So this is going to be added in for conjecture, just to throw up the argument of, does auto-tune sound better or does it not? Some people have differing opinions. Some people just want that clean product if the vocalist isn't completely on pitch. Some people prefer to have just the natural raw recording of it to display the proper emotions and things. The third track is going to be overdriven singing. The fourth track is a more distorted kind of singing, so it's still going to have the same vocal melody, but it's going to be more distorted, so more aggression and more saturation in the voice than overdrive. The fifth track is going to be another distorted voice, but it's going to be more monotone, so it's going to be a little bit further down the range, and it's going to be holding a single note and adding a little bit more distortion just to saturate the sound a bit more and go into that screaming territory. The next two voices will be a low range sort of growl, so it'll be low in the register, low in timbre and texture. The first of which will be using a high larynx operation, and the second one will be using a low larynx operation. The two tracks following that will be the same two operations, but in a medium range instead. So you've got one medium with a high larynx and one medium with a lower larynx. Then the following two tracks after that will be two high ones with the high larynx position and the low larynx position. To finish up, the last track will be a low baritone, gravelly, kind of gritty sort of singing. Now, a small disclaimer before we start. This song has an unpracticed vocal melody, so I haven't really sat down and practiced this with all these different voices. It's more of a kind of experimentation chapter to just find out what fits best and how all of the different voices and techniques sit within the mix. And maybe some voices bring something to the table, maybe some of them detract from the music. I've been a vocalist for 12 years. I've used all of these voices in different applications, and it has never impacted my voice in such a negative way that I've lost my voice or had any vocal nodules or anything like that. So all I would just say is that these techniques are legit to me. Some people might disagree. But if you wanted to practice and try and mimic anything that I'm doing, just make sure that in your experimentation, make sure that your support is coming from your diaphragm and coming from your body and not tensing anything here. And also make sure that you stop if anything starts to hurt, because that's literally your body telling you to stop doing what you're doing. The microphone that I'm going to be using for this video, and the one I'm currently talking into at the moment, is an Audio Technica AE5400. I have had it for several years. It is a great workhorse mic for any vocal project that I'm doing, and is very sort of neutral but bright in the top end, and does everything that I need it to. Anyway, let's begin. So there we have it. Hopefully you can take something away from this video. Maybe you liked some of the vocal styles that I did. Maybe you didn't like some of them. Let me know in the comments which ones you think sounded the best for this kind of music. I'm always interested to know different people's opinions. So please let me know if you have any thoughts. What I heard in my head for this chorus is a clean, mostly clean singing, maybe with some of the higher notes that go up to that A sharp, and maybe overdriven or even distorting those notes with the line, and if you didn't. I would probably have the low larynx position, high and low mixed voices there for texture, and then I would sing the main vocal line for the most part. Hopefully this video inspires you to do some experimentation of your own, with your own songs, with your own band. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell if you did like this video. There's plenty more on the way, and I upload every Monday at 8. That's 8 GMT London time, whatever we're on now. I think it's like plus an hour because summer solstice and all that. Thanks, and see you in the next video.